going on, YouTube? Mustard out here today. Got this old girl out. Well, I shouldn't say old girl, pretty much new girl. Year 2020. Peterbilt out, dropping the hopper bottom. Gonna do an oil change on it tonight. We actually got to take it up to Cedar Rapids tomorrow. It's giving us some kind of service code. I think it's something to do with the emissions. So we don't have the computer and stuff to hook up and check all that out. So we obviously got to take it to the dealer, get that checked out. Hopefully that's not too big of a deal. And then once we're done with it up there, we're gonna put it on the walking floor so we can start hauling cobs this summer. So I got my running gears down, got the air dumped on the trailer, got all my hoses unhooked, got my electrical unhooked. I'm ready to drop the air on the truck and pull her off. Just like that. Okay, I got the hood open, got the truck up on the blocks. The reason we put it on the blocks is because we just use normal 5-gallon buckets and there wouldn't quite be enough room if you didn't pull it up there. And then plus, I gotta go down and grease everything once I'm done changing the oil too. That just makes it a little easier to get under there, more room to fit. Of course, the buckets we use to drain are always full of oil when you want to change something. Seems like they're never empty when you want them to be. So let's go get those dumped quick, I guess. All right, got my buckets empty, ready to drain. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend them. Sometimes they get a little dirt in there and they're hard to open up, but sure beats the heck out of having to take a nut off. So let's see if she goes here. Just like that. Make sure you got the bucket good. Really open it up and look at that. Another thing I typically do to make it flow better is I open the fill cap, relieve the pressure on that. It's a little smoother. And I usually pull the dipstick out and just kind of let it air out too. So you can see the bottom of the filter right here. And before I take that off, I always like to take a little pointed screwdriver and a hammer and drain all that oil out so I don't get it all over my hands when I take it off. Just like that. Got a hole in the bottom of the filter. Let that all drain out till it's just dripping out of there before I take it off. You can see the pan's almost done draining itself too. Okay, everything's drained. Got the plug shut, got the filter off, got the new filter right here. You can get some oil in that quick before I put it on. It's gonna be hard to record this in time, so I'm probably not even gonna try. Okay, I got some oil in there. Don't forget, always take a little bit, rub it around the gasket. Helps give it a nice seal. You go to put the filter on. Just a little mechanics trick. All right, filter's on. And then you gotta drag the oil hose over here to the other side where the fill is. Got this nice electronic meter. It's already automatically set to 40 quarts. Now the engine actually holds a little more than that. That's just a nice even spot to set it to. Check it. Usually comes out, I'm trying to remember, I think this truck holds a little more, probably be around 45, 46, I think. But let's get this 40 in here first. All automatic. Just click it. And it goes on its own. When you start filling with oil, I always like to come over here, double check. Make sure I don't see any leaks around the filter or around the plug. It looks like I'm good, but just something I always want to keep an eye on. So while that's pumping, I'm gonna go ahead and change up my label. Something we like to do is just put a little duct tape on the frame to let us know when the next oil is. So this one's at 80. It's not quite at 80, but we figured we better just get it done so because it's gonna be on the road a lot, hopefully by next week or late this week, so you don't have to stop middle of the week or something to change the oil. It's just ready to go right away and don't have to worry about it here in the next few months. See how good my handwriting is today. Not too shabby. Gets the job done. 40 quarts in there. I just took the dipstick and it always reads high because it hasn't completely sucked into the filter yet, so it's not necessarily at the level it should be. So what we do is you put those 40 quarts in, I'll start the truck, let it run, let the oil gauge build pressure, shut it back off. Another 4 to 6 quarts yet. So let's do that. Go ahead, cycle the key, let it go through its little calibration here, and then you're watching this gauge right here. When you first start after an oil change, it'll kind of lag and not spike up right away because it doesn't have pressure built up because obviously you just changed it. Go ahead and start it up. Watch this gauge right here. And it goes up to about 30 to 40. And once it holds, go ahead and shut it back off. So this is right after running it. You can see that it's right at the add mark. So I'll have to add another 4 to 6 quarts yet. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add some more oil. I know it'll easily hold 44, so I'm gonna go ahead and add 4 quarts quick. And then I'll let that settle, check it, and then if it needs more, I'll probably do a quart or 2 at a time after that. Got 44 quarts in there now. Just took the dipstick. It's just not quite right at, but right close to the full mark. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's what it's gonna be. All right, time for the fun part. You gotta get under there and grease everything, which actually this one is the easiest one to grease because it has disc brakes. There's no greasable parts on any of the brakes. So it's basically, there's grease zerks on the drive shaft all the way back. Then there's some on the front suspension. Then you got all the steering components on the driver's side to grease up too. All right, done greasing. Now typically I would usually grease the 5th wheel, but since we aren't gonna be hooking this back up to a trailer right away, since we're taking it up to the dealer to get the check engine light checked out, I'm just gonna wait on that till we're ready to hook up. And then usually after a service, I would wash the truck, but I'm just gonna wait till we get it back so I can hook it on the trailer. I can wash the truck and the trailer at the same time and get it all ready to go at once. Hey everybody. All right, so Bennett's planting mail corn right now. So I'm gonna go grab the drone and we're gonna check it out.